I will drown before I ask for directions. I will starve before I ask someone to pass the salt. I will sit in a broken chair for 3 years before I ask anyone to help me fix it. Not because I am independent. Because asking for help feels like admitting I failed at being human. And I would rather suffer in silence than let anyone know I cannot do something. Which is ridiculous, because everyone needs help. But somehow when I need help, it feels different. It feels like proof that I am not capable, not smart enough, not strong enough, not adult enough, so I just do not ask. And then I wonder why everything is so hard. Here is the thing about not asking for help. It starts small. You need someone to explain something. But asking feels like admitting you are stupid. So you Google it for 6 hours instead. You need help carrying something. But asking feels weak. So you carry 47 grocery bags at once because making 2 trips is admitting defeat. You need directions. But asking feels like you should have figured it out already. So you drive around lost for 30 minutes pretending you know where you are going. And every single time, the thing you are avoiding is easier than the suffering you choose instead. But you do not ask. Because asking costs something that struggling does not. Asking costs your pride, your image, your belief that you can handle things on your own. And for some reason, protecting that belief is more important than actually solving the problem. So you sit there, stuck, struggling, suffering, and the entire time, help is available. You just refuse to access it. Not because you are strong, but because you are scared. Scared that if you ask, people will see the truth. That you do not have it all together. That you are not as capable as you pretend to be. That you are just making it up as you go and hoping nobody notices. And asking for help feels like handing someone a signed confession that says I am not enough. So you do not ask. You just keep pretending and drowning and calling it independence. Here is what nobody tells you. The people who seem like they have it together, they ask for help all the time. They just do not make it a big deal. They do not spiral about it. They do not attach their entire self-worth to whether or not they can do something alone. They just say, hey, can you help me with this? And then they move on with their life. But you cannot do that. Because for you, asking for help is not just asking for help. It is admitting failure. It is proving you are incapable. It is exposing yourself as a fraud who has been faking competence this whole time. And that feels unbearable. So you would rather carry 47 bags, drive in circles, sit in a broken chair. Anything except ask. And here's the cruel part. The longer you do not ask, the harder it gets to ask. Because now it is not just I need help with this thing. It is I have needed help with this thing for 3 months and I did not ask, and now it is worse. And I still cannot ask because that means admitting I should have asked 3 months ago. So the problem gets bigger, the shame gets heavier, and asking becomes impossible. You are not just asking for help anymore. You are asking someone to witness the fact that you have been struggling alone this entire time when you did not have to. And that feels like too much to admit. So you keep going, alone, exhausted, pretending you are fine and people believe you. Because you are very good at pretending. You have spent your whole life learning how to look like you have it together, even when you are falling apart. So nobody offers help because you do not look like you need it. And you do not ask because asking would ruin the illusion. And the illusion is the only thing keeping you safe from the truth, which is that you have no idea what you are doing and you are terrified someone will notice. But here's the actual truth. Everyone is making it up. Everyone is scared. Everyone needs help sometimes. The difference is some people ask. And some people do not. And the ones who do not ask are not stronger. They are not more independent. They are not more capable. They are just more scared. Scared of judgment. Scared of rejection. Scared of being seen as weak or needy or incompetent. And that fear keeps them isolated, struggling, alone. Because here is what asking for help actually costs. It costs the fantasy that you can do everything alone. And for some people, that fantasy is the only thing making them feel safe. If I can do it alone, I do not need anyone. If I do not need anyone, I cannot be abandoned. If I cannot be abandoned, I am safe. But that safety is fake. Because you are not actually doing it alone. You are just suffering more while pretending you are fine, and the cost of that is not just struggle. It is connection. Because every time you refuse help, you are refusing connection. You are saying, I do not trust you enough to see me struggle. And people feel that, even if they do not say it. So you end up alone. not because people do not care, but because you will not let them care. You have built a wall so high that nobody can reach you. And you call that strength. But it is not strength, it is fear disguised as independence. And the longer you do it, the more exhausting it gets. Because doing everything alone is not sustainable. It is not impressive. It is not proof of capability. It is just proof that you are scared to be vulnerable, and vulnerability is not weakness. Vulnerability is the only way to actually connect with people. But you have been taught that needing help is shameful, that struggling is failure, that asking for support means you are not good enough, and you believed it. So now you are stuck carrying 47 bags and pretending your arms are not about to fall off. Here is the question you need to ask yourself. If someone you cared about needed help, would you think less of them for asking? No, you would help, immediately, without judgment. So why do you assume everyone else will judge you? Why do you hold yourself to a standard you do not hold anyone else to? You help people all the time. You do not think they are weak for needing help. You do not think they are failures. So why do you deserve less compassion than you give everyone else? You do not. But somewhere along the way, you decided that you do. And now you are so used to doing everything alone that asking for help feels impossible. But it is not impossible. It is just uncomfortable, and discomfort is not danger. Discomfort is just the feeling of doing something you are not used to. And you are not used to asking, because you have spent your entire life not asking. But that does not mean you cannot start. You do not have to ask for everything. You do not have to suddenly become someone who needs help with every little thing. You just have to start recognizing when struggling alone is costing you more than asking would. When carrying all the bags at once is harder than making 2 trips. When sitting in a broken chair for 3 years is more painful than asking someone to help you fix it. When Googling something for 6 hours is more exhausting than just asking the person next to you who already knows. And then you ask. Not because you are weak, but because you are smart enough to recognize that help exists and suffering does not make you stronger. It just makes you tired. Asking for help is not failing. Refusing to ask is failing. Because the goal is not to do everything alone. The goal is to actually get things done. And sometimes getting things done requires help, and that is okay. You are not less capable because you need help. You are human, and being human means you have limits. And limits are not weaknesses. They are just facts. So stop treating asking for help like it is a confession of failure. It is not. It is just recognizing that you do not have to do everything alone. And that doing things with support is not cheating. It is just smarter. You are allowed to need help. You are allowed to ask for it. You are allowed to let people see you struggle, and none of that makes you weak. It makes you honest. So the next time you are drowning, ask for help. The next time you are lost, ask for directions. The next time you are stuck, ask someone to help you get unstuck. Not because you cannot do it alone, but because you do not have to. And suffering alone is not a badge of honor. It is just unnecessary pain. You deserve help. You deserve support. You deserve to stop pretending you are fine when you are not. And asking for that is not weakness. It is courage, so ask. Even when it feels impossible. Even when it feels like admitting defeat. Because it is not defeat. It is just being human. And being human is enough.